Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Your call may be recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please listen carefully as our menu has changed. For service, press 1. For new car sales, press 2.
Hey, car sales, how can I help you?
Hi, my name's Brad. I was calling about, looks like you guys have a lot of allocations for Hellcats.
Yeah, we sure do.
That's awesome. The 717 horsepower. Can you guys tell me what's your, because there's no pricing on the Dodge website yet on those things. Is there markups on these to order them, or?
There is markup. And anything last talk Hellcat models, anything 2023, you're going to go 50,000 over sticker.
I'm sorry, how much? 15?
50.
50,000. 50,000 over sticker. Why are they? Why so much?
Because it's going to be a last call Hellcat, and it's just an exclusive model. We only have 16 allocations. Every dealership is marking these vehicles up.
Yeah, okay, but doesn't seem like the demand's there. Are you guys selling a lot of? I mean, you have a lot of allocations open.
We only have 16 allocations for that.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's been an allocation's been open for 2.5 months.
Yeah, I mean, those are just the rules, man. We're doing 50,000 over sticker, just like any other dealership is.
No, nobody's doing 50,000. I mean, I've got 5 and 10 and 15s, but 50,000 is pretty high for a regular Hellcat.
I could do it if you like. I could transfer it to my ordering specialist, so you can go over more details with that with you. Give me 1 second, okay?
Okay. 50 grand. Wow. Hello. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you, sir?
I'm great. I noticed you guys have a lot of allocations for Hellcats, and I wanted to put an order in, but the gentleman I just spoke with told me it was a $50,000 markup.
Yes, sir.
And why are they doing that? Because it sounds like nobody's really buying them.
No, actually, we just have maybe 5 available right now from 16. So we sold 11.
Okay, because the website still shows you have 16.
We put them online, but we don't. They already sold orders.
So the Dodge Garage website says that it's updated weekly. It says you have 16 allocations for regular Hellcats.
You're looking for a regular Hellcat or
yeah, a wide body 717 regular Hellcat.
I do have a 2022.
And how much is that?
I have it for 10 over.
Oof. Yeah, I can get those.
Better than 50.
Yeah, but so you guys are really doing 50,000 over.
Yes.
But you have a bunch of allocations aren't sold. But
yeah.
So are you guys, because it's been open for 2.5 months, and you think if there was such a hot deal, they'd all be gone already, right?
Yeah, but this is what the owners want.
He just wants.
We have these kind of cars, yeah.
So you guys are basically just waiting for somebody who's willing to pay 50 over then.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer you wait, people are doing it.
Yes.
And what happens? And how much deposit do you guys take?
10,000.
And is it refundable?
Refundable, yeah.
And when do you guys think the cars will be coming?
I believe either May or June.
All right. And if the car comes and they don't buy the car because, let's say the interest rates are too high and I can't do the deal, or my value on my trade-in goes down, what do you guys do with that car?
We sell it to someone else. That car is going to sell either way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what if a bunch of people can't do it? Will you think prices will come down?
I don't think so. Let me tell you why. Till now, we have a Challenger So we still have Demon 2018, brand new.
How much is that?
Oh, that's for 300,000.
Woo!
We sold a bunch of them actually.
Yeah, there's like 70 of them for sale on Car Gurus.
No, these are brand new.
Okay, never sold before.
Yeah, never drove, never sold, brand new.
So
I have like 5 of them. We had 18 of them. We sold 13, and we have like 5 available right now. And they're not gonna sell it right now.
no, because if I bought one of those, then it wouldn't be new anymore, and then it'd be the same price as all the ones that are for sale right now. So
you know that all of these prices gonna double for the next 2 years, because no one's gonna find any of these cars anymore. So it's gonna be a collectible car. It's not gonna be like a regular car.
I want to drive it though.
Most of these,
it won't be collectible if I drive it.
I know. So what the difference is between the 2023 and the 2022?
Nothing.
If you're not looking for exactly.
Nothing's
Why did
different.
You take out 2022.
Well, because I could get those for sticker. I got one right now. I got offered to me yesterday in Destroyer Gray for sticker and for 88 grand. So I wouldn't pay a markup on a 2022. You know what I mean? Because those.
So if there is no differences, why didn't you buy one? Why didn't you buy that one?
Because
you can't get any sticker.
Well, because I'm pretty sure, because right now there's 1,900 allocations open for regular Hellcat wide bodies in the U.S. So my gut tells me that this economy, that there's going to be dealers selling these for MSRP at some point. And I think I can get a 2023. I just like a newer car. And if I can get it for sticker, then I will. And I think that the economy is going to make that happen. You know what I mean?
They will. Most of these kind of dealerships, they're gonna keep these kind of cars stay at their ground, at their inventory until they get what they want, because that kind of car is not gonna be more. Like last year, 2022, we could have ordered 100 of these. We have no problem. There's no allocation like this year. The 2023 is the problem.
Yeah. No, I get it. So
the limitation, yeah.
So the strategy is just to wait until somebody's willing to pay the price.
Yes.
And even if it takes 6 months to find them,
even if it takes a year.
Yeah, they'll wait. Because the demand, 50,000 is a lot. Well, more power to you guys. I wish you luck in doing that. I think that this economy is bad, and I think that at some point, a lot of people who ordered them aren't going to be able to buy them. What do you do to pre-qualify to make sure they could actually afford the car?
We don't do, actually. We just contract them, and they pay $10,000 down. And when the car is here, if they can't buy it, we give them their money back, and we know that car is going to sell either way.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think you're right. It'll sell. I just worry that there's going to be a lot of those sitting on dealership floors, and dealers are going to want to sell them. So hopefully I'm right. But, I bought a couple cars from you guys in the past, so I thought I'd check with you. But 50 grand is just, I just don't think, I think the cars will go up in value. I don't think they're going to double. What I think is going to happen is it might be worth 50 grand more, but if I pay you 50 grand more, I'll never see that money. So I'll be upside down. And that scares me. So it just seems dangerous. But hey, man, there's richer people than me out there, right? And they could afford to take that risk. So, all right, brother. Well, I appreciate your candor, and I'll keep watching the websites. And I'm gonna wait. And I'm gonna pray this economy goes totally in the toilet, so you guys beg me to buy that car with power dollars again. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
$50,000. Let me just tell you, folks, and we'll start this video off like this, that these cars aren't going to keep holding these prices. Go watch Lucky Lopez's video that dealers love dumb car buyers. And what he just said is that they're going to wait until the dumbest car buyer in the world shows up, desperate, full of FOMO, dying to buy one of these cars, and drops $50,000. Or they're going to wait for a collector to buy this car, park it in the garage, and then, like these demons, wait wait, and wait, and then try to sell them for $300,000. They literally want, with a straight face, $300,000 for a Demon that has no miles on it, brand new. In theory, that's spectacular, right? Like, why not? It's a brand new car. You can never, ever, ever get a brand new Demon again. The problem is, the second they register that Demon to me, it's not a new car anymore, meaning if I go to sell it, I can't sell it as new. And right now, the Demons that are for sale are running between $150,000 and $200,000, and none of the $200,000 ones are selling. The $150,000 ones, $135,000, $140,000, $150s are selling with really low miles still, but they're not $300,000. So they're going to sit and wait until somebody shows up who, I'm going to say this, stupid enough or rich enough who just doesn't care. They won the Mega Millions, got $1 billion, and they just want what they want. And good for them. And I took a lot of heat in my last video. Not a lot, just a little bit of heat. Some of you going, why do you care so much? I don't know. I'm a YouTuber. Look, I want to share information with you all. I want to help people save some money and not get fleeced by these dealers. I'm convinced that we are heading into, and not only heading into, we are firmly in a recession right now. The Fed is committed to continuing to hold interest rates high, and they are not comfortable yet agreeing or believing that inflation is subsiding enough. With us still hanging around that 7% range, I think 6.5%, 7% range, we've got a while to go before they hit 2%, meaning they're going to keep us in pain for a while longer. And here's what's really interesting is they're going to keep us in pain while these cars are starting to show up at dealerships. But I want to show you a few things on their website, dodgegarage.com, that might enlighten some of you, that I just feel like I have a duty to share this information, to get this out to you all, and maybe save some of you some money. And if I'm wrong, completely wrong, and I'm screwing you guys out of getting cars, I apologize for that. If you've got the money and the wherewithal to go drop and just burn a whole bunch of cash, knock yourself out. Good for you for working so hard in your life that it doesn't really matter. But if you're squeezing it out, emptying out your 401k, dropping this money out of some place that's really important, that's making you money because you feel like you're going to be buying an investment like this man says it's going to double. He is so full of it that it's not even funny. He is full of it. There's no way the car doubles. I mean, think about some of the cars in history, that how long it took for those cars to double. I mean, it would have to be a super rare car. The problem is most of these cars are not super rare. Now, maybe some of the special editions might have a chance. Maybe the Super B, because it is a special car. But most of the cars have absolutely no chance. Black Ghost is a bunch of stickers. You know, King Daytona is a bunch of stickers. These are jailbreaks. These aren't anything special. Even this man said, what's the difference between a 22 and 2023? Absolutely nothing. Unless you're a collector, you want to sit on it. Even then, I don't believe that you're going to make a ton of money on the car. So let me show you the reason why I believe this, and let me go ahead and connect my screen here so you can see what I am looking at. All right, so you can see my screen. Let me go ahead and bring this up a little bit, show you. I'm on dodgegarage.com. Put in my zip code, but I put nationwide, meaning that everything that's allocated out there should show. Fair enough? So everything that's out there, they say that this is updated weekly, and let's say that we trust Dodge and we believe that they're telling the truth. Some of you may say that there's no way they're telling the truth. They've not told us truth in the past. But I'm going to assume that they're being honest. So if they're being honest, then let's go ahead and do a little searching here. And here's what's interesting. If you look at let's just look at the special editions first. Here's the special editions. So if you look at, for example, there was supposed to be 300, that's it, 300 King Daytonas. So let's look at, oh, wait a minute, sorry, I clicked Charger. Let's go pull up the King Daytona. 300 King Daytonas. This will tell us everything. 300 results by closest dealer. You see that? Fair enough. There's 300. They said there's 300. There's 300. Remember what they also said? Kaniska said that these cars cannot be ordered. These cars will show up and be sold as standing inventory. They cannot be ordered. Now, dealers are taking reservations with huge markups and huge deposits, but the reservation is not the same as an order. You don't have to order a car that's already spec'd out the way they say it's going to be. So when the car shows up, they're going to call you, and if you're willing to drop that $50,000 or $100,000 markup, they're going to sell you that car. I was offered some reservations on some of these special editions, but the the markups were so ridiculous that it didn't make any sense to pay that much more for a car with stickers that I plan to drive. I'm not a collector of cars. I realize that I only have one time to live on this planet, and I'm going to make the absolute most of that time, meaning I'm not buying things to sit on them, and then while I'm sitting on them, end up having a stroke and dying and never got to enjoy that thing. I plan to buy things and use those things. I put, 15,000 miles on my Lamborghini in a year and a half. I plan to use these things. I didn't buy them to park them in the garage. So you see, there's 300. Let's go ahead and check the Swinger. So Swinger, there's 200 there, which that doesn't make any sense. Remember, I did nationwide here. So Swingers, I believe those were supposed to be 1,000 of each. Why do only 200 show up? That's a question. Somebody can answer that for me. I did all of the entire U.S. and, probably because, no, there's only 200. Let's go to the Challenger. Let's go to the Swinger and White Knuckle. 300. And let's look at this one. 500. So maybe that does work out when you go to the different specs of those. So let's go ahead and look at go back to the Charger, go to the Super B. We know that the Super B was supposed to be 1,000 cars, 500 of each of the specs. So here it is in Plum Crazy. 500 should be the number. Why does it say 501? Were they dishonest? Is it a glitch in the system? Why is there 501? And then Swinger, the Super B and B5 Blue, there's another 501 in the nation coming. Well, that's more than 1,000. I didn't have to go to college to figure that one out. So again, I don't trust this Dodge Garage website very much, as many of you watched some of my older videos and shared with me, and as I found in one of my other videos where you heard the recording, where we found hidden allocations. There are allocations at dealers that don't show up on Dodge Garage's website. Additional allocations out there. So let's assume what I'm sharing with you is all that's out there, but also be smart and realize there's probably more out there. Also, I want to preface my recording of that conversation. When I call these dealers, they come on, and this is two-party consent, they come on literally telling me that call is going to be recorded. So that is them saying they're good with it being recorded. If they can record, then I can record. So anybody wants to say anything about that, we're good. All right, now let's get out of that and just go look for Hellcats. This is where the magic kicks in. I'm just going to look for a regular Hellcat Charger, the 717. I ain't calling it regular, but I mean the 717 wide body. That is, let's make sure it's a wide body. And you come down here, and there are 999 results in the nation. There's 999 cars, Charger Hellcats, that have not been secured. I mean, let me repeat that. Almost 1,000 have not been secured. Remember, we're 2.5 months out from when they opened up our ability to place orders. If these cars were the hottest things on the market and people were lined up to buy them and that demand was controlling the price, then by virtue of demand controlling the price, these would all be sucked up the first month. Does that make sense? The prices can't go up if the consumers aren't willing to pay them, is what some of you have told me. But the reality of it is, the prices are being held up artificially by the dealers who are hoarding them until what he even practically said, which was until a dummy, somebody dumb enough, shows up willing to pay $50,000 more, they will hoard that thing until then. They will hold it hostage from us. That is not market demand. That is not market forces. I hope everybody understands that. Market forces for almost anything else in the world that is scarce is when everybody shows up trying to buy it and the price is bid up. In real estate, that's what happened. Prices weren't being artificially held up. They were being propped up by interest rates. And when 37 people put in writing offers and everybody gets a chance to write their best offer and the agent keeps coming back saying, if you'll pay $10,000 more, they'll consider it, but I'm going to tell everybody else they'll pay $10,000 more until the final person hits a wall and no one else will pay more. That's how we do it in real estate. With these cars, it's I'm just going to hold the thing you want until I find the biggest dummy in the world willing to pay it, because they're not scarce. This whole scarcity thing is crazy. There's 999 Charger Hellcats. If you look at, let's just go and look where the jailbreaks do get a little bit more scarce. The 807 jailbreaks, there's 77. So a lot of those have been taken up in the Charger variant. But let's go to the Challengers, and let's go up to the 717 Hellcat. And that is 1,934 of these things are out there. Some of these dealers have been sitting on allocations. Remember, these are spread out amongst 2,000 dealers, or the top 1,000 dealers, I think it was. Correct me however you want. But like this Hemet dealership, they've been sitting on 12 allocations for quite a while now. They're just holding out for humongous markups. That's not market forces. That is hoarding. That is market manipulation. By definition, it's market manipulation. It's saying, I'm going to keep this from you and build a spread until I find the biggest dummy willing to pay it. It's not that there's 10 people standing in the dealership floor bidding the price up. It's that there's 10 people coming in and saying, screw you, I'm not paying that. And then one dummy coming in and going, I just won the lottery, or I'm retired, I got all the money in the bank in the world, and I don't care how much I pay for this thing. I have to have it. And good for you that you got to do that. But most people aren't doing that. They're looking for a handful of goofballs. Now, I believe that if you keep watching this, the allocations aren't going to go down as fast as everybody thinks they are. Remember, 2.5 months in, and there's almost 2,000 Challenger Hellcats floating around out there. Now, that's the one I actually want. I don't need the 807. I mean, these are wheel spinners, no matter how you cut it. I've had a Red Eye, I've had a Hellcat, I've had a Scat Pack. The best car to get the power is the Scat Pack. The worst car, where you can barely use the power, is the Jailbreak 807. It just spins constantly. It's insane. You got to change the tires. You're still going to spin. The regular standard Hellcat at 717 is slightly more reasonable, but still obnoxious, but definitely a Hellcat, and that's the one I want. So let's go to down here and look at, which one's this one? A super stock. So there should be no super stock. There are 31 super stocks, and they're holding out on those prices. There's 31. They're 2.5 months in. Theoretically, those should be sold out. Remember, anything super popular, when you call looking for it, are sold out. I don't have a camera here that I've been looking for forever. I just got it. It's a really cool Sony small, cam that I carry around for B-roll stuff, and it was sold out everywhere. And that tells me it's a popular camera. The problem is if it wasn't sold out everywhere, and it was because the prices were so high that no one was buying them, that would tell me that product was overpriced for what I'm getting, because most people won't pay it. Same thing with these cars. They're overpriced by definition because they're not selling. The allocations aren't getting sucked up. They're not getting taken up. And you can keep going through this website and keep clicking on Scat Packs. There's like $10,000 to $15,000 markups on these Scat Packs. This is a Challenger Scat Pack. Look at that, 1,251 available. We're 2.5 months in. Let's check this one. Chargers. Let's go check the Scat Pack Charger. I like the wide body. 2,534 Chargers are still sitting there, not reserved. Now, let's assume last week there were some, and maybe it's down to 2,400. But because of the markups, there's thousands of these cars sitting there unreserved. Now, I will tell you, here's what's going to happen. And I'm going to go back to my screen so I can look you in the eye. So, let me tell you what's going to happen. And you heard from what that guy said. I mean, they're taking deposits. 10,000 is kind of crazy. They're saying it's refundable. I don't want to be the guy trying to get my money back a year from now, or 6 months from now, or 8 months from now from them, and being told it's going to take 30 days, 45 days, or you got to do this, you got to do that, or the guy that told you it was refundable is gone, and now it's actually non-refundable, and now you have to small claim sue them and everything else. So I don't want to deal with that stuff. 10 grand's a huge deposit. Just to have your money just sitting there doing nothing with no real expectation of when your car is going to get delivered. But here's what I believe is going to happen. And you see that these guys, they don't have an answer for this either. And I called many dealerships, and they all said the same exact thing, which is, yes, you're going to leave your deposit. Some of them told me they were non-refundable. Never do a non-refundable deposit. Never. There's plenty of dealers that will do refundable. I'd rather do refundable in writing $10,000 than non-refundable $5,000. Too many things could happen. Our economy is in massive flux. There is so much uncertainty. It's not funny. Not a single person, not even the greatest experts in the world, know exactly what's going to happen. So 6 months from now, when the car finally shows up, you may not be in the position to make that decision. You may be where I was when my jailbreak showed up and say, it's not the right time to pay that much for a car, to pay the interest rate for a car, and to take that kind of financial risk when you have a family or something. You may make that decision. I had to make a decision because I knew, which I couldn't tell you guys before, but I knew I had to buy my daughter a car, and go watch that video where we gave her the 2022 Supra. I had to drop another $53,000 on a car for her. So none of the things made sense for me, and that happened. From when I ordered the car to when the car showed up, I had to make a different decision. Now, of course, I didn't have any deposit to worry about, and the dealer was happy to sell it to somebody else for a markup. Everything worked out. But for a lot of you folks, or a lot of folks out there who have placed these orders in the heat of the moment, are going to have the car show up. The dealer's going to call and say, it's on a truck, it's almost here. You got to be ready by Monday. And they're going to go try to get the loan. And they're going to find out that the banks have tightened up their lending requirements. And the banks aren't going to participate in that markup. Interest rates are also going to be higher. You're going to have to put more money down, or you're going to need to pay cash for the car. You've already heard my opinion on paying cash for these cars. It's stupid. It's just like burning money in your driveway. But if you want to do it, that's cool. You have the money. Good for you. More power to you. I'm not judging you. It's just not how I roll. I want to put the risk on the bank, especially in a weird economy like this. Anything can happen. With that said, I can tell you right now, there's going to be a lot of people, I think more people than we expect, who are going to have the cars show up, who put their deposit down, bragged to everyone around them that they put the order in, got the flex for putting the order in with all their friends, and then the car doesn't show up, or does show up, and then they back out, and then they hope everybody forgot, because they're not going to drop $1,900 or $2,000 a month on that car. Doesn't make sense to them. At that point, they're not going to do it. Or put $25,000, $30,000 or $40,000, or in this case, $50,000 in markup down just to finance the car MSRP, which would be considered 100% financing at a $2,000 car payment. They're not going to do it, and they're going to back out because they're not even thinking through it. You heard this guy? They don't even pre-qualify the people. They're taking the $10,000 deposit, and they're saying, cool, you got a reservation, because they're not worried about having to be able to resell that car. They will. And what's the worst thing that happen? Is the market tanks, and they got to sell it for MSRP. That's the worst thing that can happen to them. So the risk is not even there for them. So they're not pre-qualifying these people, meaning if there's a lot of unreserved, untaken allocations still drifting out there, cars start to show up, and there's a lot of people backing out, there's an opportunity for us to go in and start picking cars up in MSRP, because dealers are going to want to turn some cars. They're going to want to get that inventory out. This guy says, we'll wait a year if we have to. Some dealers, they won't have that luxury. They're going to need to move those cars. They're not going to be able to sit there and not take the profit that's sitting there right in front of them to pay their bills in the middle of a recession. So with that, everybody, I hope that this video was informative to you all. I'm going to keep talking about this stuff, and I really, really hope that you get the perspective. And when you put the comments in my videos where it's like, why do you care about that? It's the market forces. Educate yourself. That's my only plea. Educate yourself. There's no way, when there's probably altogether there's 10, 12,000 Hellcats out there of the different variants, and if you add in the special editions out there that are unreserved, unsecured, that no one's accepted those cars with the markups, and the dealers are just sitting there waiting for a dummy. And I'm going to have more faith in our, I don't know, car people, if you will, that a lot of you are going to wise up. And that's the other thing that's going to happen as this economy slides and as this continues to develop. Some of you who maybe, forgive me for saying this, but aren't very smart today, are going to be smarter by watching videos like this, watching Lucky Lopez's video, and so many others out there that are telling you car prices are going down. And maybe these new cars, not right now, they're holding out. They're holding out for the dummy to show up. But the second you buy that car, it becomes a used car. The second you drive that car, it begins to depreciate, and you start to lose all that value, and you start to burn that cash. And no one will know whether it was a 22 or a 23. Facts, people. Facts. So hopefully you appreciate this video. Please like, subscribe, comment, be respectful, stay motivated, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.